Welcome to our lecture online. Here we're going to solve the exact same problem we did before with one big difference. Instead of being given the charge density, the volume charge density of the charge on the sphere, we're now given the total charge on the sphere being 10 microcoulombs. The radius of the sphere is still 20 centimeters, and we want to find the electric field at the halfway point between the center and the edge of the sphere. So that's 10 centimeters away from the center of the sphere. And you're going to see how this is slightly different. Well, actually, slightly. It's a very different technique in how we're going to find the electric field. So this is how we do that. We still start with the same equation where the electric field strength times the surface area of the Gaussian surface is equal to the charge inside the surface divided by epsilon sub naught. So the electric field strength is equal to Q inside divided by the surface area of the Gaussian surface times epsilon sub naught, which can be written as Q inside divided by 4 pi times the Gaussian radius squared times epsilon sub naught. The trick again is in finding the charge inside the Gaussian surface. So we're going to draw the Gaussian surface, and we need to find the charge inside. But we're not given the charge density, we're given the total charge on the total sphere. So how do we find the charge inside the Gaussian surface? Well, it all has to do with the ratio of the volume of the Gaussian surface to the volume of the entire sphere, because the charge will be into the same proportion. So the amount of charge inside the Gaussian surface will be proportional to the total charge, as the volume of this will be proportional to the total volume. In other words, we know that the volume of the Gaussian surface divided by the volume of the sphere, that ratio must be the same as the charge inside the Gaussian surface divided by the total charge. And so therefore, if you want to find the charge inside the Gaussian surface, that's going to be equal to the total charge times the ratio of the volume of the Gaussian surface divided by the volume of the sphere. We're given the total. This would be the total charge on the whole sphere. So we're given that number. Now we have to multiply that times the ratio of the volume of the Gaussian surface to the ratio of the volume of the sphere. So this is going to be Q total times the volume of the Gaussian surface is going to be 4/3 pi times the radius of the Gaussian surface squared. Oh, not squared because we're looking for the volume. So this is going to be cubed divided by 4/3 pi times a cubed, a being the radius of the whole sphere. Now if we simplify this, the 4/3 cancel out, the pi cancel out, so it's simply equal to the total charge times the ratio of the radius of the Gaussian surface cubed divided by the radius, and of course we don't use r there, but we're going to use a, the radius of the total sphere cubed, and there should be a 3 here. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready to plug that in there. So the electric field is equal to Q total times the ratio of r sub g cubed divided by a cubed, and the whole thing divided by 4 pi r sub g squared times epsilon sub naught. All right, let's see here. What we can do is to have an r sub g squared in the denominator, r sub g cubed. So these two will cancel out those two. A cubed goes to the bottom. We have 1 over 4 pi epsilon sub naught. And remember that 1 over 4 pi epsilon sub naught is equal to k, so we can replace that. And so our equation can then be simplified to 1 over 4 pi epsilon sub naught, which is k. Q total. We're left with 1 r sub g, 1 radius of the Gaussian surface, divided by, now 4 pi epsilon sub naught is gone, this is gone, and then the a cube goes to the bottom. So a cube at the bottom. And that will be the strength of the electric field at that location. Now we plug in the numbers. K is going to be 9 times 10 to the 9th newtons, Newton meter squared per coulomb squared. Q total was given to us as 10 microcoulombs, so that's 10 times 10 to the minus 6 coulombs. the radius of G was 10 centimeters, which is 0.1 meters, all divided by the radius cubed of the total sphere, which is 0.2 meters. You have to cube that. Okay, notice that we have meters cubed in the denominator, meters squared and meters in the numerator. All the meters cancel out, one of the coulombs cancel out. We end up with newtons per coulomb, which is the correct units. So the electric field in this case is going to be, of course for this we're going to need a calculator. So 9e to the 9th times 10e to the 6th minus times 0.1 divided by 0.2 cubed equals, and I end up with, wow, that's a lot, 1.13 times 10 to the 6th. So I end up with 1.13 times 10 to the 6th newtons per coulomb, which is quite a strong electric field. Nope, I guess I kind of chopped off my coulomb here at the bottom. Don't want to do that. There we go. But again, the key is that we realize that in this case, the charge inside is simply going to be equal to the total charge times the ratio of the volume of the Gaussian surface divided by the volume of the whole sphere. That's the portion of the total charge that's inside the Gaussian surface relative to the total charge on the whole sphere, and that's how we then calculate the electric field inside. And that's how it's done.